Hey guys, welcome to Mana Podcast, and today we have Mani Kandan from Siteabook. Hi Mani.
Hi Nikita, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Mani?
Very, very good.
All right. So Mani, just before we start off with the rest of it, would you want to give us a small insight on what exactly Siteabook is, and what are the features that Siteabook includes?
Okay, Citeabook is
Mm-hmm.
an exciting, unique platform. We would like to describe it as Citeabook is a social for books.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, what we are offering through Citeabook is an independent platform for book lovers to come search for their books, read a small synopsis, read reviews about the book, and then
Mm-hmm.
go buy the book, and then form their own small reading community. It's a private reading community.
Mm-hmm.
You can form your own community only by invitation, by yourself, and then a small
Mm-hmm.
group of friends. So essentially that's what Citeabook offers. Another unique feature of Citeabook is we have this evolving community called master reviewers. They
Okay.
are the bibliophiles that are your voracious readers, librarians.
Mm-hmm.
This group of people we are evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, master reviewers are folks who like sharing what they've read,
Right.
and what so they are people who you can approach for a review. You can through Citeabook you can actually choose your master reviewer and ask for a review,
Mm-hmm.
and they would oblige within 24 hours or 48 hours. So that's an evolving community of wonderful community that we're very, very proud of.
Okay.
And another very, very unique feature of Citeabook is we're living in India that has tremendous diversity
Mm-hmm.
across the board. I mean, cuisines change in 300 miles. So we have Citeabook available in Indian languages besides English.
Mm-hmm.
Citeabook is currently available in Hindi, Tamil, and Malayalam, and we're going to
Wow.
be adding Kannada, Telugu, and Bengali and
Mm-hmm.
Marathi in the next 15 days. So
That's
we've
one
Citeabook is
advantage.
very exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
So we're very, very proud of
would you
it.
say Citeabook is sort of a Zomato for books?
Well, Citeabook is, I mean, for want of a better description, you could actually say Citeabook is a Zomato. But the
Mm-hmm.
best part about Citeabook is, we are absolutely independent. We
Mm-hmm.
don't sell books.
Mm-hmm.
We just give you a platform where you can go and buy books.
Okay.
So
So what, if I'm not wrong, just correct me if I'm wrong. So there are books and there are reviews and there's a community which review every single book, and people can share whatever they've read and their experience through each of their books. At the same time, you give a platform where people can buy these books, right? So you don't sell the books,
absolutely,
but it's just that
absolutely.
you lead them to another website which has this book available, right?
Correct. That is an independent e-commerce platform.
Mm-hmm.
Several platforms, like we're tied up with several platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, etc. So it's across the board. Yeah.
And I think I was just going through your app, and there's also a feature where you can compare the prices on different
Correct.
platforms, right?
Yeah, that is available. That is
Mm-hmm.
available because we are tied up with multiple platforms, and that feature is something that we have introduced.
And Mani, so there are so many books, right? So how do you keep your list updated? Because there are books releasing every other, I think, like not even every day, every few minutes, I think, right? So how do you keep your list updated? Do the users also get to update the books that they read
The
if it's
users,
not available?
the users at this point in time will not have the opportunity to update what their books.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part about Citeabook is that our backend database is just incredible. I mean, while we are tied up with Google Books and
Mm-hmm.
Amazon for India,
Mm-hmm.
we're also tied up with this large mammoth database called Books in Print.
Okay.
The US, and Books in Print is one of the largest database of books in the world. They currently, as we speak, they have about 25 million titles.
Okay.
So, there is any book that is not there in Books in Print, it is something that they've probably not been, it's not been written yet, you know.
Okay. So you've got the cover.
So
You've got the list
we've
covered.
got it all covered. Yeah, we've got it all covered. We're very excited
Mhm.
about the back end because that is going to be our strength and that's going to drive our growth. Yeah.
Mhm. And these reviewers, is there any sort of credibility that you need to have, or is it any sort of achievements that you need to have to sort of go and review a book, or it's an open community where all of them are welcome?
It is an independent platform, and at this point in time, we make sure that we do the background checks before we put them on board.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, the master reviewers, their credibility, etc., is going to be decided by folks who are going to come into the group, because when they ask for reviews, and it's got all the platforms and abilities that you find in regular social media platforms, like you can like a review, you can comment on a review, you can communicate with, you can follow a master reviewer. All of that is available. So the more number of followers you have, the more number of reviews that people ask you, that defines your credibility over a period of time. And we have been a very, very young platform, so maybe a couple of years later, I'd be able to tell you the most followed reviewers.
Yeah. And how many reviewers do you have on board?
Currently, we have about 20.
Okay.
Because we're very, very careful about the quality of folks that get in, and we do a lot of churning in the middle. If there's somebody who hasn't reviewed a book over the last, let's say, 1 month or 2 months or whatever, we kind of ask them to excuse themselves, because we need folks that
are active and
very active and current.
And do they definitely they do get they're basically building a brand at this while they're reviewing the books, but are they incentivized in any other way?
The biggest incentive for somebody who wants to share their thought is the number of people who read it. So at this point in time, they're very excited about a platform that allows them to share what they've read. So at this point in time, there's no incentive. If you ask me, there's no incentive for anybody in cash in kind or in kind. But these are people that are very excited about the thought of sharing about a book.
Okay, all right. So how did this idea crop in, Mani? Like, what made you start Siteabook?
Yeah, see, I'm a voracious reader myself. I have a personal library myself of thousands of books, and I have been, just to give you a little bit of a 20-second background about myself. I had been in the corporate world for about 25 years. Been a banker, been in the consulting world, been head of strategy for large companies. About a couple of years back, when I was searching for a particular review of a book, I could find a lot of reviews online, but they were either attached to some platform or the other, or some bookseller or the other. Somebody who's, I'm not saying that's bad, but that didn't sound independent when you're looking for serious reading. For fiction, you might end up getting something that that's all right, because the cost of a fiction book is not much. So I realized that either you find reviews in long form, which appears in newspapers. About half a page reviews, and they review about one book per month and stuff like that. So we said, then I said, okay, let me just go speak to publishers and understand if there's an opportunity for them, to give them this kind of a platform where they can actually have independent reviews. Then I said, there's nothing better than going to the customers, going to the readers, because the most unfortunate lot of this entire ecosystem is actually the reader.
Correct.
Who spends his money, but then who actually buys what the bookseller sells.
Correct. And it's better. It's always better to get a review from a user than anyone else, right? So
absolutely. What actually led to this non-English expansion is, we were talking to a lot of e-commerce players. We were talking to a lot of very, very large players. And there was somebody who told me, hey, you know what, Mani, if we sell 100 books in India, 45 is non-English.
Correct.
And we have not done much in that segment at all. We haven't done really anything at all, but people are just buying.
So among your users, do you think is there a lot of people who are using non-English things to review and read?
Absolutely. So we were actually we were about 50,000, 60,000 downloads at one point. And then when we introduced non-English, we just zoomed past 150,000 in a matter of 45 days.
Oh, wow. So now there are over, I think, 200K
Now it's about
downloads.
200K, and yeah, now it's about 200K, and another three languages are coming. So we really slowed it down
Mm-hmm.
because we want to do one big bang launch for all the six languages once.
Yeah.
So
So what are your
so
future plans for Siteabook Money? Like, what is
well,
the
future plans is at this point in time we're looking at the Indian market.
Okay.
We're looking at the Indian market, and the uptake of internet and and mobile application and smartphones, etc.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cannot even go there. I mean, that's an off-beaten topic. How it's growing, and every possible number that is being quoted is being beaten every month.
True. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's not even get there. So India itself will keep us busy at least for the next 2 years. We don't want, we when we enter the US market, or I mean North America or any other country market, I
Mm-hmm.
think we'll easily be about 5 million downloads with an active base of, at least about 25-27%, which I believe is very, very healthy. We haven't really
Mm-hmm.
gone to the benchmarks because in the digital world there are I mean a lot of benchmarks floating around. So we'd like to believe that we stay closer to our customer and continue to innovate because innovate and give them the experience that they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's easily going to keep us busy for at least the next 2 years.
Perfect. So, Mani, the app is free, right? And so, how does the whole financial model work for you?
Monetization is a very simple model at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The traffic that goes to the e-commerce player, where they buy a book or where they buy whatever they do,
Okay.
we get paid for, we get monetized for what they buy there. it's
Okay.
a it's,
So,
it's
it's
on
a
a commission.
percentage that you get with every transaction that
Right.
happens through Siteabook,
Yes, yes,
right?
through Siteabook,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The possibilities for this is for alternate revenues are immense once we have sizable data. Because see, what we have done over the last couple of years since we started is we wanted to
Mm-hmm.
get our technology right. We
Correct.
want to make sure that the platform is self-sufficient from that
Mm-hmm.
standpoint. So we
Mm-hmm.
have an analytics platform that we have built on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, all of that is in-house. So what we have done is we have data that helps us communicate with each and every user individually.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if we have a fiction, novel that is releasing, or a spiritual novel that is releasing,
Mm-hmm.
trust me, I can actually communicate directly to only those people who are interested in these novels.
Correct. Makes
So
sense. Mm-hmm.
one is strike rate is better. Two
Mm-hmm.
is the target segment is getting something that it actually likes.
Mm-hmm.
And three is I'm not actually talking to somebody who likes philosophy, about a new Jeffrey Archer novel. That's a
Right.
irritation point, right?
Right.
So that is an immense opportunity for marketeers, number one. And number
Mm-hmm.
two is, we are also looking at, we don't want to become a publishing house. That's not what we
That's
like
not
doing, and
the plan. Mm-hmm.
that's not that's not what we know how to do also, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
the platform actually, gives us an opportunity for independent writers, to write short stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
This can be used as a publishing platform only for people in our community.
Yeah,
It
that
could be
makes sense. If there's something that they've written and they would want to share, and
correct.
yeah,
So it's something
I
that
think
that you
Amazon allows you to, make a book of your own
So
and.
there are quite a few of them. There are quite a few of them who allow.
Mm-hmm.
But what is critical here is that we can actually allow the short story writer after a bunch of checks and balances
Mm-hmm.
to publish his work here as an ebook or
Ebook.
as an e this thing, and we could price it anywhere between. I mean, we could probably price it very, very less,
Mm-hmm.
where 80% of the stuff goes back to the writer and we keep 20%.
20% of it makes sense.
We don't want to make any money out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that platform. And
Mm-hmm.
we want to truly make the market decide whether he or she is a good writer or not. The
Got it.
number of likes, the number of readers, the number of buyers, that will
And
determine whether
where better to sell other than, a community filled with readers, right? So on
it's
Amazon,
well
it's
with readers.
the community, right? Yeah.
Correct, 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 correct. So that is an exciting possibility. We're actually working on that. and so that is something that we're very, very excited about. It'll just be a small short story. The cost of it could be very, 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 very less. And then
That's the next thing that's coming up, is what you're saying, right?
that is the next thing that we're working on.
Okay.
And we are multilingual, right? I mean, at any given point in time, we could probably have about 3 or 4 people writing for us.
True. Also,
So
Mani, I remember when I spoke to you last, you said Siteabook doesn't have a website yet, right? So how is it that you didn't make a website? Because for every startup that I've seen till now, at least, the first thing that we do is actually set up a website, right? And then post. So you had a very interesting take on why not. So
a website is coming. It is
now you
certainly
think people are
very
asking
promising.
you.
No, I didn't think it was priority because I wanted the reverse route. I deliberately did the reverse route in this, because normally people build their website and then they go to the app. But I wanted to take the reverse route because I personally felt that a lot of things are possible if you construct your website first, and then your ultimate destination is going to be your mobile app, right? So when you go from the website to the mobile app, the possibilities of what you could end up doing in the mobile app could be very restrictive.
True.
And hence that leads to a lot of dissatisfaction to your loyal customer base.
Correct.
That is one of the reasons why I said,
how do you market Siteabook?
Siteabook is very social, very, very socially marketed at this point. And then through word of mouth, our offline campaigns are just kicking off now in a very, very slow way, because this is a technology backed product. And hence a lot of offline stuff will have to be thought through in terms of how we do it. And there's a lot of trial and error that goes in, because I'm a conventional non-technology guy. So a very, very non-technology.
Who built the product? Was it
my wife? Yeah, my wife built the product because she's also a co-founder. She built the product. She's a technology person. And we have used external resources who are attached to us who build this product. And I'm kind of there's a lot of learning for me in terms of technology, because
you've never been a tech
about 15 minutes for me to connect onto this call, so you would have been it, right? So headphone is anathema to me. So
all right. Mani, what's your favorite business book?
Business book is Jack Welch's Straight from the Gut.
And what's your favorite book overall?
As the Crow Flies by Jeffrey Archer.
Okay. How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Extremely patient. Very, very persevering. Somebody who stays the course.
Okay. What is your favorite work memory?
My favorite work memory is there was a business that I was driving for one of the largest banks, for a very, very large bank, and I had a team of over 500, 700 people. And for 2 full years, I did not have one person leaving me.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right. What is the one thing that you like and dislike about your co-founder/wife?
One thing that I like is she is not patient. She drives me. I'm at the other end. I'm very, very patient. That is something that I actually like, because you need a nice balance.
You need a combination, yes, right.
You need a nice balance. And what I dislike is she acts like a co-founder and not my wife most of the time.
Okay. All right. What would you do if you woke up as Narendra Modi one day?
I would make sure that no child goes hungry every night. I would keep everything else and do that.
Okay. What is the best advice that you've gotten till now?
Best advice that I've gotten till now is when I started this thing. Somebody very very close to me said, "Hey, why are you doing all this? You're a very senior banker and all. Just get on with your job.
Mm-hmm.
Why unnecessarily do all this?"
Mm-hmm. I think
Then
you'd have heard that a lot, though, right? Like, I mean, people usually,
correct, correct, correct,
yeah,
correct, correct, correct. Initially, it is shocking, but then now I've
got
now it
used to
doesn't come. Now it
it.
doesn't come.
Mm-hmm.
Now it doesn't come because when we say, "Hey, this is where we are,"
Mm-hmm.
they all of them say, "Oh, fantastic! You've got somewhere, right?"
Yeah.
So the first cover first year was, I mean, there were the conversation that turned out to be a conversation starter in most of the cases. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, but the best advice that I've got so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to know the best advice that I've got so far?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody told me, just don't worry about what is going to happen
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow. Um, Stay the course. You're building something very very magical.
Perfect. Where do you see yourself and Citeabook in the next probably 5 to 10 years?
Siteabook becoming a global application, competing with or rather, with about 2-3 million people on
Mm-hmm.
board,
Mm-hmm.
buzzing with activity, becoming a gold standard in reviews for books.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of authors wanting to be on Siteabook to review books,
Okay.
and Siteabook in at least another 3 foreign languages,
Okay.
maybe French, Mandarin, and Spanish to
Mm-hmm.
start with.
All right.
So we have translation abilities now, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't know the market.
Correct.
So
All right. One last section of the round, right? So I give you a word and you tell me the first thing that comes to your head.
mhm.
All right. Literature.
Possibilities,
Okay. Future.
extremely bright.
Okay. Fiction.
Reality,
Okay. Success.
relative.
Okay, perfect. All right. All right, Mani, I think we're done in this round. Before we end the conversation, see, you've had years of experience, in the corporate field, in the startup field. So what is that one piece of advice that you would want to give people who are just starting?
Just love what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
and do what you love.
Okay, so you think that's going to
What you
take them, the passion is what is going to take them
Absolutely,
forward?
absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. I mean, see it's a lot of contradictions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the best of innovators apparently are school dropouts, but
Right.
they make sure their sons go to Harvard,
Right.
right?
Right.
So I mean, there is going to be trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times, the trouble is not going to be money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of times, you probably didn't love it enough when you realize when you're just about halfway through,
Mm-hmm.
and have a lot of people around you who are empowered to shout at you if you do a mistake.
Okay, perfect. All
You know?
right. All right, Mani. Thank you so much. I think it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you for
Yeah.
taking time out and being on Mana podcast.